The impact of mining in DRC has been several-fold. There are direct, tangible impacts, and there is the intangible or slow onset impacts. The tangible impact are those visible things we can see, like landscape degradation, land degradation, pollution of waterways, and several other things. The intangible impact are those long-term consequences that the mining activity has on the ecosystem, being it the environment or the social ecosystem. The intangible impacts are the impact that the mining activity, including pollution from the chemicals that are used or the noise that are produced, the impact that they have on the pollinators like birds, insects, and other animals, and also the long-term health consequences on people and on their livelihood, including degradation and impoverishment of soil. So when those happen, the consequence is that it leads to movement of population. People tend either to move to cities where they hope to get jobs. Unfortunately, with the limitation in education opportunity in the rural areas, it is difficult for them to get jobs in the cities. And when they arrive in cities, their vulnerability is increased. There is another consequence of migration where people are tended or tempted to go beyond or out of their zones of origin, sometimes crossing international borders in risky manners simply because they cannot produce their food because their land has been used for mining. And unfortunately, when people even decide to resettle, they will need to have land for their settlements when their initial settlement has been taken away due to mining activities. They will need to have land for agriculture to produce their food, and they will need water for their daily use. This new displacement into the forest will lead to deforestation by the very people who have been displaced by the mining activity. And as a consequence, you have mining activity that has destroyed the environment where the activity is taking place, and that has a knock-on effect on people and force people to areas where they need to destroy or use the ecosystem to try and recreate the environment they used to live in. So those are part of the intangible long-term consequences that are not directly attributed to mining activities, but they are a logical result or consequence of the mining activities. Governments have a lot of responsibilities because they preside over the future of a nation. And the first responsibility is to be conscious of their decisions on the people who trust them for direction, people who trust their leadership for the future of an entire nation. So they need to become increasingly conscious of that so that they look not only on the short-term objectives, but they also look at the long-term impact of their decisions today. They need, in more practical terms, to ensure that the countries develop clear strategies on the management of natural resources, clear strategy on the management of critical minerals, because without a strategy, resources will be exploited without a clear direction. They need to strengthen sub-regional cooperation, because without sub-regional cooperation, contraband and illegal mining will increase. And with that increase, there will be increase in transborder criminality. And with transborder criminality, the global security architecture will be called into question and will be challenged. So they need to become conscious of that. And we trust them. We trust their leadership. We trust their good faith to take decisions that ensure that human life and the existence of the ecosystem as we know it today is preserved and utilized in a sustainable manner for the good of all of us today and the generations to come.